So in terms of long distance relationships, the closest thing that I've had in my life to a long distance relationship, I guess, was during COVID. I remember right when COVID hit, I was actually downstairs in this very house. And once COVID hit, it was kind of like my mindset went from like, you know, I'll try this, I'll try that, to like, I will try everything. Like, you name it, I'll do it. Like singles events, Shabbatons, you know, Motzei Shabbos get-togethers, Zoom groups, chats, everything. So Lisa Elephant, actually, I was one of the originals. They called it Co-Ed 19. And
about that group.
Yeah, it was, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was amazing. I really, truly can say that I gained a lot from it, and I mean that very sincerely. You know, during COVID, it was hard. Everybody was alone. Everybody was kind of doing their own thing. And especially for single people, we kind of felt like we were cut off. Like there could not be any progress. Like the thing that keeps a lot of singles going is like, at least, you know, there's like that kind of, you know, the gold, you know, the gold on the other side of the rainbow. And the thing that keeps a lot of people, single people, going is like, they're headed there, you know? And then COVID came and boom, all of a sudden you weren't headed anywhere. And that was the worst feeling possible. And to be as part of those Zoom groups, I felt like I was meeting not only a lot of great girls, but great guys who I'm still friendly with to this day. I was part of a community from my bedroom, which was amazing. And, you know, we played games at night and we had roundtable discussions, and it really, really helped me a lot. And I know a lot of people felt the same way. And I did have a few Zoom dates on it.
You're saying from that?
Yeah, we got that from that. Yeah.
That was good that you didn't feel dismayed at all. Many people did.
By COVID?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying we did. I did feel dismayed. And this kind of was able to thaw that ice, that feeling of like, oh, you know, I've hit a dead end. Like all of a sudden, okay, like, you know, you're cut off from the world, but there's this online, there's this window, Zoom window into, you know, a community.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Kind of like bridge the gap.
Exactly. And we were able to, to connect with other people like that. So obviously I was dismayed, as were many people, but I can say about Zoom dating, and I don't know if this counts as a long distance relationship or whatever, but the Zoom dating, it didn't do it for me. Like I was happy to be doing it, and I continued to do it because of the reasons that I just said earlier.
Can get.
Exactly. You know, at that point you take what you get. Like I said, I was going all in, you know, but I never felt like I was really able to fully connect with people, kind of, no matter how much technology progresses. And I know that now they're talking about doing like holograms on phones, you know, like an actual image. It'll never replace the person-to-person interaction, the, you know, shaking somebody's hand, looking at them in the eye, the vibes that you're feeling based on their, even just their body language. You can't fully pick it up on Zoom. Their emotions, you can't fully pick it up on Zoom. The little nuances, how they're moving their eyes, their fingers, their legs, everything. You'll never be able to pick up on that on Zoom. So I found that in terms of long distance, I found that to be a barrier for me.
Right. The body language is definitely a big thing when it comes to dating. I mean, like when you're face to face with somebody, the interactions that you have, it definitely makes an impact. It like adds
huge
to the experience, the dating experience.
So it does. So
I'm curious.
I think it's still.
Yeah, I'm curious. Has that stayed as part of a mainstay of the dating life?
I don't know exactly, because I myself haven't done that recently. It definitely was a big factor during COVID. At first, I was like, I am not jumping on this bandwagon. I am not doing the Zoom dating. Like,
why was that? Just because you felt?
Because of that lack of personal interaction that you miss out on, that you just don't have. And yeah, I could read a person over video also, but it's, of course, not totally the same. Different. It's not the same level.
It will never be the same.
I find it so intriguing that so many, like whenever I mention now, like long distance, people like kind of mesh COVID in there. You know? Mm-hmm. Usually I don't. Usually I wouldn't conflate the two. Right. I feel like they're two separate things. Like Yeah, the COVID, which was like long distance in a way, and then there's regular long distance.
So believe it or not,
it's so interesting.
BCE, before the COVID era, there was Skype dating.
There was, but there was.
People did do that.
You were stereotyped though
when they didn't have the
you
ability.
go, you're someone who would like date someone long distance. Oh, interesting. Like I could think of
when people didn't have the ability.
3 or 4 girls that I went out to who were in a serious relationship long distance. Because like it didn't end well or whatever, and they would bring it up, or I would say like, oh, what was did you have a serious relationship? And they'd be like, yeah, but it was like long distance. I guess it just didn't persevere.
Well, I think that COVID, 2 things. First of all, I've heard people say that COVID didn't change the world; it just sped it up. Like we were headed that way anyway, and.
Nobody talks, nobody talks, nobody talks Shidduchim.
This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.